This story is about a Japanese high school student who discovered something strange about the train she often rode. No matter how crowded the train was, there was always one seat that nobody would sit on. One day, she decided to sit there, and what happened next was terrifying. When I was in my first year of high school, I had a creepy experience on the train. As a shiny new high schooler, I had a long commute, 2 hours each way, which meant I spent most of my time on trains. For a high school student, standing for 2 hours was absolute torture, especially in the morning when the train was packed. All I could think about was finding a seat. I would desperately look for empty seats or hover near someone who looked like they were about to get off, praying they'd leave soon. Looking back now, it feels so silly. But back then, finding a seat was life or death to me. If I got a seat, I could read, play on my phone, or even cram for a test. Those 2 hours were precious. One day, a few weeks after school started, I noticed something odd. No matter how crowded the train was, there was always one seat that nobody would sit in. It was on the 6:30 a.m. train, a private railway in Kanagawa Prefecture. The train had long bench seats with some 4-seater sections at the front and back of each car. The empty seat I found was in the 4-seater section of car 3. Every morning, even when the train was packed to the brim, the bottom right seat of that section was always empty. Jackpot, I thought. That seat became my special spot. While other people were crammed together or sweating buckets, I'd sit there calmly, pretending to read a book, like The Silence of the Lambs. Life was good. This went on for months. But then came July 15th. Like usual, I sat in my VIP seat. Exams were over, so I pulled out my favorite manga to pass the time. That's when I heard it, a faint rustling sound behind me. At first, I thought it was my imagination, or maybe someone in the next car over. But no, the sound was coming from directly behind me. Then, I felt it, a warm breath on the back of my neck, along with the rustling sound. If you've ever ridden a summer train with full blast air conditioning, you know that kind of warm air shouldn't exist. Still, I told myself it was just a vent malfunction or something. But then, out of nowhere, a sharp pain shot through the back of my neck, like someone was scratching me with their fingernails. The rustling turned into whispering. Someone or something was behind me, muttering under its breath. But here's the thing. I was leaning against the seat back. There was no way anyone could physically be behind me. I turned around, and that's when I saw it. It wasn't human. It had a vaguely human shape, but no eyes, no mouth, and no nose. Its head was smooth and bald, like an egg, and its skin was pale and glossy, almost fragile looking. It reminded me of a mannequin, but far more terrifying. And somehow, it was staring at me. Even though it didn't have eyes, I could feel it glaring. It was leaning in close, its white, smooth hand resting on my shoulder. Its index finger was bright red, like it was dipped in blood. That's when I finally understood what was happening. I was so scared I almost wet myself. Screaming, I bolted out of my seat, grabbed my bag, and ran for my life to another car. I didn't care who I shoved out of the way. When I reached car 7 or 8, the train pulled into the next station, and I seized the chance to jump off. I didn't even dare look back. I called my parents, made up an excuse about not feeling well, and went home early. When I got home, I begged my parents to sprinkle salt on my back. They thought I was acting crazy, but did it anyway. The next day, everything seemed normal. But the uniform I wore that day, the back of it was stained with black blood. Blood that wasn't mine. After that, I never took the 6:30 a.m. train again, and I avoided empty seats on crowded trains like the plague. To this day, I still wonder what I encountered. My parents didn't believe me, and my friends thought I was joking. Years later, I told the story to someone with strong spiritual abilities. They said places like that, where unclean things gather, exist everywhere. People with even a little sensitivity can sense when something feels off and avoid those seats. But someone like me, who's spiritually clueless, I just walked right into it. So, my advice to everyone: be cautious about empty seats on crowded trains. You never know what might be waiting there. If you want to see my videos faster, please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates.